Hey guys, my name is Tweak and I'm the director of Beneath the Tangles, a faith-focused anime brand now in its 11th year of creating content. I hope you'll give us a follow and check out our reviews, interviews, and all the other fun content we put it up. But today I am here for a video review of a unique art book that you're not going to find on Amazon or on Kinokuniya or virtually anywhere except for a site for a brand new museum. But the topic and artist featured in the book isn't someone inconsequential. It is the biggest name in all of anime and perhaps all animation, maybe ever, Hayao Miyazaki. So before we dig into this book, simply entitled Hayao Miyazaki, sorry, that's backwards on there. Let me give you a little background. The Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences, which is probably most known as the organization that conducts the Academy Awards, has built a brand new museum in LA. There are several permanent exhibits, but as is usual for museums, there are also galleries for temporary exhibits. And the very first one that the museum is opening this month is for the works of Hayao Miyazaki. I think that's pretty amazing, right? It's one thing for anime to become more popular among the public and production companies like Netflix, but to be honored in this way, I think that's really something special. By the way, the exhibit was postponed because of COVID, but originally, as I can piece the story together, this inaugural exhibit was supposed to feature the works of three creators, Spike Lee, Pedro Almodovar, in addition to Hayao Miyazaki, so you see what a big deal this is. This book is a catalog of that exhibit, featuring the items that are on display. So it's not your usual art book. It's basically a take-home compendium that's similar to those you might have at your own home after visiting an art museum. And besides that, it's more than an art book, and I'll show you why. There's quite a lot of introductory material here, but I'll show you one of the most interesting pieces. So this is written by Jessica Niebel. I hope I pronounced that right, Jessica Niebel, who's the curator of exhibits at the museum. And she basically is explaining the whole process of what it took to get these pieces to become part of the exhibit. You probably know Studio Ghibli is famously sheepish in sharing their works, so it gives you an example of the great scope of this effort. And then after that, the artwork kind of begins, right? Well, this picture of Miyazaki, but we start sharing some of the artwork here. But there's actually more writing that comes along in a little bit. There are a couple additional pieces here. This one is a fairly short scholarly article by film journalist Daniel Kothenschulte. I've read a lot about Miyazaki myself, but I still found this article very interesting. And even though it's scholarly, I'll hold this a little bit further back, it might be easier for you all. It remains very accessible. So it's a really great read. And then it's followed by a piece by Pete Docter, which is really fun because he talks about his meetings with Miyazaki and kind of the things they share and they don't share. For those who are unaware, Pete Docter is the director of many of Pixar's best films, like Monsters, Inc., Up, Inside Out, and then most recently Soul. And then the rest of this is art. That's the Pete Docter piece there. And then we get to the art. So there's just so much art in here. The bulk of these pieces are image boards, which is kind of the point where the story starts out. So you get a look at scenes and characters that how they originally looked before they actually went through the process of animating the film. So for example, these are images of Nausicaa. She looks totally different. Let me show you another fun kind of early image board. Oh yeah, I love this one. So here's Kiki. This vertical one is an image that the Academy is sharing, but check out on this side, we got Kiki as a blonde. I mean, that's pretty interesting. It's a really great image there. So, and I also want to show you some early images of San. Yeah, these are really cool too. Look how different she looked. She actually looked a lot like Nausicaa at first. Let's see what else we got here. There are plenty of other images throughout this piece. We've got a color board here where you see all the different colors that are brought out in this image of Kiki. We got storyboards Yeah, there you go. There's a storyboard right there. And then each section is accompanied by writing as it's kind of thematically laid out. What else have we got? We've got lots of imagery. Here's some beautiful imagery from Ponyo, my least favorite Miyazaki film, but perhaps his most beautiful, really amazing stuff. And at this point, we're only halfway through. So there's so much here. The last half of the book is basically just full of selected works from the exhibit. Plenty of beautiful art. I thought I was going to say this presented in chronological order, but not quite. It is ordered by film, and nothing is neglected here. For example, what is this from? This is from Totoro, but you got lots of different stuff. It's not just Totoro, it's not just Spirited Away, but you got Porco Rosso, you got The Wind Rises. You have early works from Miyazaki's career too, and then. Oh gosh, so much beautiful stuff. Yeah, I want to show you this one. This is from The Wind Rises. So really incredible stuff. As you get towards the end, there's actually some nice stuff at the very end also. An illustrated filmography, a chronology of Miyazaki's life, and glossary. Interesting enough, I think the glossary kind of shows who this book is written for. It's not for anime fans. It's really for students of film. That's emphasized in the writing throughout the book. It's talking about Miyazaki's mastery, not just of anime, but of filmmaking. And I think that makes this work unique too among Studio Ghibli and anime art books. It also hits kind of the middle ground. It's not so substantial as studies on Miyazaki or his personal recollections, which you can purchase those on Amazon. They're really good. They're worth reading also. But it's also not as simple or nostalgic as the Ghibli art books. It's really kind of in between. It's something that you should really consider purchasing if you're a fan of animation, filmmaking, or of course, anime Ghibli or Miyazaki in particular. It is pricey. It's $49.99 through the Academy Museum's website. I'll provide a link in the summary below so you can see it. And I should also note that I was pretty disappointed that mine came damaged. You see the corner there, it kind of messed up the whole bottom of the book there. The book was actually packaged really well when I got it. So I don't think it was a UPS problem or a problem on behalf of whoever packed the book, but it seems like it was damaged even before that part of the process. So beware of that. Otherwise, it's up to you to decide whether it's worth the price. However, I think it's pretty, I think I've pretty well documented here that it is an important and remarkable art book. It is something that's very rare among art books. And so I think it will become a collector's item. So that's that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me for the review. And again, please subscribe. We've got plenty of awesome content and more upcoming. So take care, everyone, and God bless.